this event every year. Taking pictures of women that I admire and like knowing is terrific.
And say your name.
My name is Deborah Triplett, and I get the honor every year of being the photographer for North Carolina Women's Conference.
And donated property in 1868 and a sizable share of his fortune to establish the Wells Seminary for the higher education of young women, later changed to Wells College in Aurora, New York. It was one of the first American institutions of higher education for that ability should trump tradition. Give her the opportunity, he declared, as he opened Wells College. And Wells Fargo followed suit then and continued.
Like you are.
I can't wait till this afternoon to be on the panel with you, Chia-Li.
Oh, great.
It's going to be fun. We're going to stimulate a lot of thinking on the part of the participants. We got to close that gap.
That's right. Tell us about your name.
My name?
Name and what you do.
I'm Robin Krieger. My company is Compass Career Management Solutions, and we are a company that helps others to manage change, build talent, retain their talent.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the session you just went to?
I think it's very helpful for those who have not dealt with aging parents, and to help think through how they're preparing for their retirement.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. What's your name?
Sarah Gambrell.
And how long have you been in this conference?
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning. And how do you like the conference?
I think it's a great idea.
And why do you think
Great
that?
concept.
Great what?
Concept.
And
needed.
And needed. And how do you like, what do you like the most about the conference?
Getting to know all the other great women.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And if you were to say something to other women to come here, what would you say to them?
They'll find it very helpful.
Very helpful to be here.
The program.
The program. So for those women who didn't come, they missed out big time.
I'm afraid they did.
Well, thank you.
A great time.
Yes, yes.
Now, while all of our board members have worked very hard to make this.
My name is Gwen Thomas, and welcome to the Women's Intercultural Exchange track. You have the official name in your program, and you'll see the What Your World track, Women Closing the Gap.
Sometimes people don't really recognize sponsorship within organizations. I mean, the word mentoring is very popular, but actually when we have studied what it takes to get ahead, we literally found, we had a quote from someone in one of our studies that said, you know, I've been in this company for years and years, I've gotten a couple promotions, I don't feel like I'm going higher, and I've been mentored to death. Like somehow I just need a little bit more than mentoring to move ahead.
Well, I have one opportunity this summer to do my first whitewater rafting trip.
I did that, girl.
Thank you. But you see, I don't swim. So I insist upon that I have to sit closest to my rafting guide leader.
My God.
Yeah. Now this picture was taken on, the entire trip was 2 hours on the Natahala River. Did I pronounce that? Yeah. It's the coldest river in North Carolina. The whole purpose of the 2 hours trip was to deal with this 9-foot drop, which you probably couldn't see it on the screen, but it was a 9-foot drop to make sure that none of us get food out of the boat.
Why women make a difference. Extensive studies in the last 15 years on how and why women make a difference by the Center for Women in Politics at Rutgers University says that women bring a more collaborative approach to decision making. And I think Congress is a good example of that. The women in Congress actually have bipartisan social gatherings. Not too long ago, Susan Collins from Maine and Kristen Killibrand from New York were sitting next to each other. Susan Collins kind of nudged Kristen and said, you know, If we were in charge, we could solve this deficit problem.
Run well, they need to leverage their talent well. And what's refreshing is that as we look at a lot of our award winners, we see that within the company, there's a culture of development. And that means that, again, if you are willing to be a sponsor and willing to grow talents, especially in diverse populations, if your company is progressive, then you certainly will get credit for doing that.
Right. What I hear you saying is start at the grassroots level, right? Precinct committees, boards, and then as you develop a broader network, then think about running for political office. Is that?
Yes.
Do I understand you correctly?
Yes, because I'm in that population.
Actually, three things, not four things. The very first thing that you want to look for is, because buyers and investors are looking for what return on their investments. So you wanted to make sure that there's a way that you can show the return on investment by showing how to diversify your client base, how to diversify your product base. And the other things that you wanted to show for is how can you ensure that you can decrease the risk in your business. So you have to demonstrate both return on investment as well as the risk. And sometimes you have to make the hard decision of if that particular client or that particular product line is not making profitable work for you, you got to cut them loose.
Okay, we've heard a lot today throughout the whole conference from these women on the panel. We've heard about how empowered we are. I think we have felt very empowered. Now we're talking about some of the gaps.
The very first thing I wrote down, there was a quote, was "Women step forward." I believe you said that. And that was in regards to, how do you get out there to get support from, from other women, from other organizations. And I think that summarized it. Women step forward, just step out.